put the strawberries inside. So we're going to put the strawberries inside. Okay, so there's your strawberries. What I did was I got my strawberries and I cut my strawberries into slices, okay? Cut your strawberries into slices, just like that. Mistakes do happen in the kitchen, okay? So no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes in the kitchen. You just have to know how to fix it. You see, I forgot to put the strawberries in my cake already. And I want my strawberries inside the cake. I'm going to pick up my cake. And you know, it's too soft for me to take it out, so I'm just going to fill it up right now with the strawberries, okay? Don't do this at home. You want to make sure that your strawberries are already in there, okay? But mine I'm going to put in right now. Hi, and welcome back to Bake Something Sweet. We're making Tres Leches cake. It's strawberry coconut Tres Leches cake, okay? For those of you who didn't see, we refrigerated the Tres Leches cake. You have to put the Tres Leches and you have to refrigerate it for basically the whole day, okay? If you're going to do it at nighttime, then you have to refrigerate it overnight. But mine, I did it early this morning, so I refrigerated it all day, and now it's nighttime, and we're going to do the frosting. You have to leave it in the refrigerator for maybe about 12 hours, okay, just to make sure that it sucks up all the milk. So here, I'm going to open it for you to see what it's supposed to look like. Here it is. Okay, like I told you, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna be broken up a little bit. It's gonna be kind of very soft and very soft to the touch and very milky. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, it's gonna be normal for the cake to break up a little bit because you poked a lot of holes in it, and you basically try to rip it open a little bit to get the milk inside, and it's very soft. You understand? So it's normal for it to be breaking apart a little bit like this, but you're going to see when we cover it up, it's going to look like new, okay? It's going to look like nothing happened, alright? So that's what it's supposed to look like. Now, let's set that aside. And we're going to work on making the topping, okay? You always need your spatula. For the topping, we're going to do whipped cream, okay? We're going to make whipped cream from scratch. So you're going to get heavy whipping cream, okay? Heavy whipping cream. And you don't really need to measure this out. It depends how much whipped cream you want. But I'm going to use half of 1 quart. I'm going to use half, maybe it's like 2 cups, okay? So it's about 2 cups of whipped cream. Sorry, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And sugar, you're going to add sugar to taste. And so you could try it when it's done. If you want more sugar, you add more sugar. You can probably put about maybe half a cup of sugar, half a cup to 1 cup of sugar, okay? And you're going to blend it high speed, okay? High speed for a little while until you see it gets thick. The heavy whipping cream is going to get thick, okay? Just like that. You're going to mix it just for a little bit more, and that's it. This is what it's supposed to look like, and that's about it. Do not mix it more than this, otherwise it will turn into butter. It will become liquidy and turn into butter. Okay? So that's pretty much good enough, and if you try it, you'll see you have whipped cream. You're going to get the whipped cream with your spatula. And you're going to use it with your spatula. You're going to spread it all over the cake. Probably going to need some more whipped cream. Just like that. And then you're going to use it and you're going to go to the side. Always make sure when you're covering your cake, always make sure that you put a lot of frosting, okay? For example, in our case, it's the whipped cream. So always make sure you put a lot. Because if you, for example, if I want to put this much on this cake right here, it's not going to work. Because if I do that, then I'm going to get crumbs of the cake on my whipped cream, on my topping, and you don't want that. So for you not to get crumbs onto your topping, you have to make sure you put a thick layer. That way you don't touch it, and always rock it in a back and forth motion. Okay? Always rock it in a back and forth motion. And you're going to try to cover all those areas that are cake in a back and forth motion. Even when you go on the sides, it'll be a back and forth motion. So you have to put a lot of frosting. Afterwards, when you're done frosting the cake, if you want to take some of the frosting off, that's fine. But for the beginning, it's always good to put a lot of frosting for you not to get any of the cake crumbs onto your spatula. And just be careful with the areas that are broken. You see this area here, so you don't want to touch that too much. So just be careful with the areas that are broken. Cover all that right up. So now that I completely covered the cake, I'm going to take just a little bit of that whipped cream off. I'm not going to take too much off because Tres Leches cake, I mean, most of it is whipped cream. But if you're not too much of a whipped cream fan, little by little you can go taking some of the whipped cream off, okay? But you see, no one can tell that the cake on the inside is broken. No one can see the bottom layer of the cake that had holes in it. Right now it's starting to look beautiful. And if you see, I don't know if you can tell, but you see that it looks uneven. Over here it's straight and it looks like it has a lump here. Well, all that you fill it up with the whipped cream to make it even. Okay, you make it nice and straight with the whipped cream and it'll look nice and even. This helps the cake if your cake is demented and your cake is a little bit crooked. This will help it. You're going to fill up all the holes. There's a little hole in the bottom, so you're going to put that there. You're going to fill it all up with whipped cream. Okay? And then you're going to make it nice and even. And again, there's another hole here. It looks like it's a little demented, so I'm going to use the whipped cream to fill up that emptiness. Okay? And then you make it straight. It's not hard, you just have to play around with the spatula and with the whipped cream. Okay? And you go ahead and you do that on all sides. And try to straighten it out. Okay? And that's pretty much how I'm going to do it. Let me check the other sides. It's not bad. Okay, pretty much how I'm going to do it. Now, the cake is pretty much covered. Okay? The cake is pretty much covered. So now, my next step is I'm going to get paper towel and I'm going to clean around the sides. You get a damp cloth and you're going to clean the sides to make sure when you decorate it, it's going to look pretty and not have all these cake crumbs. Okay, so you're going to clean the sides so that way it can look nice and pretty.